Hi everybody, I'm Roger Nix. I teach ABE levels 3 and 4 at Clover Park Technical College. And we had a few hopes and expectations for our students when they were going to start this program. And Phil came to us and briefed us about what he intended to do. We had a few questions in our own minds, and we decided to list them to see if our students' hopes and expectations would match what ours might be. And so one of the first ones was we wanted students to be exposed to college level classes and to see what went on in a college level class, because they're in our ABE classes, and we conduct them a little bit differently than those of you that teach college level classes would do. We don't give grades, for example. We do give quizzes and various assessments along the way, but we run the classes just a little bit differently. So we wanted to have college students also act as role models for our students. So our students could go in there and see, oh, this is the way a college student acts. Maybe I can do this kind of thing myself. We're always trying to get them to think outside the box, because unfortunately with a lot of ABD students, they tend to look at the world in blinders. And then finally, we wanted them to realize that maybe, yeah, I can do this, that I have the capability, the smarts, that I can do these kind of things that these other college level students are doing. And it was a real eye-opening experience, because we had the students then write down their ideas. And I think Glenn, who you talking about? The concerns.
Yeah, I've got concerns.
So he'll be talking a little bit about that in just a couple of minutes. Are there any questions about this? Okay, well, go ahead, Glenn. Finished.
Okay, so I'm Glen Weigelt, and I teach ABE/GD at Clover Park. It occurred to me yesterday that this is kind of an unusual conference for us, because so many of you don't teach ABE/GD ESL, so basic skills. And I thought for the concerns to make sense to you, it might be helpful if I kind of gave you a little bit of a profile of our students. So in ABE/GD classes, between 50 and 80% of them are generally have learning disabilities. So that's one of the big issues that we're facing. Many of our students, probably the majority, come from a culture of poverty, which definitely impacts how we teach and what we teach. Most of them have poor or no role models in the household, so that definitely creates an obstacle. They come from addicted past, or they have been addicted, exposed to addictions, their parents or family members. Pregnancy, that's common. Dropped out of school early because of pregnancy. Incarceration, either they've been incarcerated or they've had family members incarcerated, and consequently many of them have low self-esteem when they get to us. So, concerns we have going into this. One is, probably like a lot of you have, would be that students disappear from the class. Whenever you do any kind of collaborative project like this, it's always an issue. And basically, what we've come to learn is that you just need to learn to be flexible. And that's really the cure. I mean, there isn't much else you can do with it. Go ahead. Students hesitating to be involved. They don't think they have a story. They think their story will be embarrassing. A lot of issues there. And basically, we tried to encourage them and touting the benefits of this project, and basically just trying to get them to see the positives in the project. And the last concern that we had was that they would be confronted with potentially awkward questions. We know from experience that this definitely can really cause an issue. You might even lose a student by setting them in a wrong situation. And so basically what we did is we sat down, we vetted the questions, and we just went through them very carefully and we gave students options. So that's pretty much what I have about concerns. Any questions there? No, Roger's going to do that.
One of the things we noticed when we started going over to Dr. Phil's class for the speeches was that if the speech was about a student who wasn't in our ABE classes, our students tended to be a little bit inattentive. Maybe a little bit talking in the back of the room, not always focused on what they should be doing, that was listening to the story about that student. So the first 2 times we went over, we heard speeches about one ESL student. The second time we went over, we heard a speech about a woman who was born in another country. Both speeches were really well done, and they were very interesting. Unfortunately, because our students didn't know these students, they didn't pay as much attention to them, I thought, as they should. And so afterwards, we actually talked to a couple of our students and said, was your behavior during that speech appropriate for what we were doing? You know, they could see the point that, oops, maybe I was out of line. The next time, the third time we went over there, one of our students was the focus, and that was Cassandra. And the 2 students that did the speech on Cassandra did a superb job. They were really, really good. They took turns giving their speech. Afterwards, they spoke, I don't know if it was extemporaneously, but it was really good about Cassandra's life and about the people that have been very influential in her life. So I think what I'm saying is that it's really important that if you're going to get your students involved in this, you're going to have them observe the speeches. It should be about the students that are in your class, the students that know each other, because that makes a strong impact. Our students sat there riveted and listening to the speech. And it was really good. It was very heartwarming and very inspirational. About the hands-on.
Yeah. Okay, so number 2 would be when Phil did the primary work on this. He set it up and he initiated it. And we were very eager actually to get on board with this. We've done similar types of things and very happy to do this. Phil just kind of took the bull by the horns, and he arranged to connect the students, to match the students, his students with our students. And in retrospect, the way Roger and I would probably like to handle this in the future would be that we select our students, or we have a lot more input in which of our students are selected, because you know, there's attendance issues, there's you know, the likelihood that they're going to disappear. We can get kind of a better read. Huh? we can. Is that Phil?
Oh, I got a reaction.
Yeah, it scared the jabber jabber. Okay. So anyway. We think that it would be wise on the part of the ABE side that you have input, or that person has you know, significant input in selecting the students that are going to be in this project. You're probably going to get a bit of a higher success rate in the end with it.
Yeah, students have to buy into it, otherwise you'll have issues where they might say they're going to do it, then they opt out or they disappear on it. So. And then number 3 we just talked about.
So is it voluntary?
It's voluntary, yes.
But we volunteer on the